The purpose of the next 5 minutes is what you're going to eat. Not good at that. The next couple of minutes, we're probably not gonna do the entire thing because everyone's already done that. But we're gonna discuss each monster individually as they progress as creatures.
Yeah. And, well, which one do you want to start off with?
Well, let's start back by going back to the magical time of 1933.
Yeah.
Great Depression. Movies weren't really all that big of a deal. They were there for you to escape. But they weren't that big or really well handled, or they were just starting. Like the talkies were just starting.
Yeah.
And along came a vision by RKO Pictures, and they decided to, well, I'm not very big into I'm not a very big King Kong guy. I own all the movies, but I'm not that huge of a King Kong guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna admit that right now. But I love the first two movies.
Yeah, I at least love the first original film because of the fact that for the time it was made, a lot of the effects that were done in it were incredibly groundbreaking and not really something that was done a whole lot since. I mean, for what's, considered by some to be a monster movie, by others to be a
classic cinema.
Yeah, they actually did quite a bit of effect work. I mean, we've got,
Composite shots and projector shots.
Yep, and you've got giant props. You've got
some of them were paintings too.
Yeah, stop motion animation, and just all of these components that really weren't. They were just thrown together at just the right way to make everything work.
It really changed how a lot of how special effects were handled, how characters were interactive with the actual effects, and how movies of this genre, either giant, big beast or horror, or otherwise, a little bit of science fiction in there.
Yeah.
How we're handled, and it really broke the mold for other stuff. Like if we didn't have King Kong, we wouldn't have Godzilla,
right,
or Gojira, because that's essentially what inspired the four guys who made Godzilla or Gojira into making it, because they saw King Kong about a year before.
Yeah.
In 1953, in the 1950s. Gojira changed how we look at monster films themselves. It was the first of the giant kaiju genre.
Yeah, and it, also made us take an odd way a look at ourselves as human beings, because it was a response to the
bombings
of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and at that time.
That's essentially what it represents.
Yeah.
And with Gamera, it's sort of changed a little bit, but it's playing upon how Gojira was done. Gojira was made from radiation.
Yeah.
Gamera was awoken by the bombs.
Yeah.
By an atom bomb. He wasn't created, he was awoken by it.
Yeah.
Which really makes you think, oh, we can create these monsters, but what are actually lurking on the Earth itself?
This much is incredibly true. I mean,
it's like we've never really explored the deep trenches of the ocean before.
Yeah, it's like...
We don't know what's down there.
It's like, okay, we've got all these things from space, but what about our own planet? And
Space out there and space within.
Yep.
But, well, back to Godzilla for a minute here.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree Godzilla is the definite king of the monsters.
Yeah, he's pretty much the one out of all three
Who's been majorly successful.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's at least...
There are a couple of others, but one name, as the trailer for the compilation says, one name rises above.
Yeah. Is the one that is best known, where, you know, you mentioned Godzilla even now, and even this current generation has some idea of what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. It's a household name.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, you have to ask more of the older generation about Gamera.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets his props for being more silly.
Oh yeah. Definitely more on the lighthearted spectrum.
It may not have had the best effects when they came out, but they were ever kid friendly.
Yeah.
But King Kong is, well, he's something that occurs naturally in nature.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some species of gorilla or ape that could, you know, be that big.
Yeah. I mean,
But that has to be pretty old.
Yeah. Or have some sort of...
Well, I think with crossbreeding
in their environment, yeah.
I think with crossbreeding and breeding over the years, I think that causes a lot of, size differences.
Yeah.
Because the islanders treat him like a god.
Yeah.
He gets shot down.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Godzilla gets pounded by planes, trains, and automobiles all the time.
Planes, trains, automobiles,
Yeah,
laser cannons, and
Laser.
There
He gets hit with some crazy crap.
Yeah. The only thing that I think they didn't hit him with was a nuclear bomb.
Well,
That's because, well,
that would make him stronger.
It wouldn't work.
Well, they did. No. They tried to hit him with a nuke once in 1985. But since that would have been a really bad thing, the Americans shot a missile of their own that the Russians fired one. Then America shot one to cancel it out. But unfortunately, they had already subdued Godzilla. They stopped his heart.
Yeah.
With the cadmium.
Yeah.
But the radiation fog woke him back up and made him even more powerful.
Yeah, so pretty much, no, radiation, bad idea.
I mean, in Godzilla vs. Megagears, they tried to kill it. They tried to get rid of him with a black hole gun.
Yeah, twice, and...
That did not work.
And let's face it, for the most part, Godzilla's pretty much shown that the only thing that can truly stop him,
or at least give him a match, is himself, another monster, or some sort of chemical compound.
Yeah. The only thing that can truly drop him apparently seems to be himself.
Right. Yeah, like Orga almost won, because if Orga ate him, he would have won.
Yeah.
Space Godzilla would have won if it wasn't for Mogira. And Destroy would have killed him. Almost did.
Yeah.
He killed the son.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. I don't think they really killed him in the Millennium Mechagodzillas. I mean, they got him to go away.
They stunned him.
I think they did kind of kill him, because I think they did breach his heart chamber when they drilled through it.
I think
they did. That might have been him, like, he's about to die.
Yeah.
But then again, that movie wasn't really about Godzilla. It was more about Mechagodzilla, the original Godzilla, really.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's Gamera, who's been...
Well, Gamera the Invincible holds that title.
Yeah.
Because he's been stabbed through, chopped through.
Yeah.
Virus comes to mind. And
stabbed, shot.
And the only way they could ever get rid of him was they sent him into space.
Yeah. And even then, it didn't really, get rid of him. He came back.
And as we find in Gamma the Brave, the only thing that can really kill him is him exploding.
Yeah.
Or Gauss. Gauss almost did.
Yeah.
Gauss was a run for his money.
Gauss was trying. And, it seems that the other thing that all these monsters, or at least Godzilla and Gamma both seem to have in common, is that there's also one other monster that both can be very strongly recognized against, a solid rival.
Gamma had Gauss, Godzilla had King Ghidorah.
Yeah. King Kong, unfortunately, I think the closest he ever had was Godzilla.
No, he had those T-Rexes. He probably had to deal with those on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's just like, they kept it themselves, and this time he actually has to kill one because he killed 3 of them in the remake.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool. That was a King Kong. Yeah, in Son of Kong, he fought a bear, a lizard. I think his rivals are what's on the island. He's as like sort of like the master of his territory.
Yeah.
He probably is. Everything's probably his rival.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've actually, with all these 3 characters have had sons.
Yeah.
The Little Kong.
Yeah.
We had Godzilla Jr.
Yeah.
Manila and Little Godzilla. They're all the same thing. And Gamera had, I refuse to call him Toto, but he is Toto. Let's just call him Gamera Jr.
Yeah.
Or GJ or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a really big, weird word. But, let's talk about the remakes or the next gens. Afterwards.
Okay.
With King Kong, Son of Kong, it was made in the same year, same people, but I think it felt rushed.
Yeah.
It felt a little rushed.
Feel rather rushed.
Yeah, in fact, Son of Kong, the model they used was actually the 4th Kong that they were originally going to use. The stop motion guy.
Yeah.
They used 3 different Kongs.
I believe.
No.
Okay.
Ray Harryhausen saw it in theaters though when he was a little kid.
Yeah. I keep forgetting.
There was actually a prelude, like an opening little feature they did with at the theaters. Actually like a live action sort of like setting up the scene that we don't actually really get into until the new remake, the recent remake. There's a lot there that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But it's hinted at.
Yeah.
Like when they ask the guy, why do we got to be out by morning? Well, there's a reason. Turns out they're going to cut their funding and take all their stuff back. The film company was kind of mad at them. And we learned that in the remake, it's better explained. And the reason why Anne had nowhere to go is because the theater she was working at closed down because the owner was kind of getting old.
Yeah.
He couldn't fund it anymore. So that's why she's kind of homeless.
Yeah, I mean, there were some things that were better explained in the remake, and there were some things that were...
There was one big change in the remake. Jack Driscoll was changed from a sailor to a writer, actually.
Yeah.
Which makes a little bit more sense, It's more in-depthy.
Yeah.
And, But Godzilla and Gamera, they didn't have remakes. They had reboots. In a sense,
Yeah.
With when they made Godzilla 1985, the rest, it's actually Godzilla 1985 is a sequel to the first one.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all the ones in the Millennium series are sequels to the first one again.
Yeah.
They're mostly standalone titles.
Yeah.
But they can connect to the other if you look at it in an abstract way.
Yeah.
Like they say, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus is not connected to Godzilla 2000, but The suit is.
Yeah. But at the same time, with
The way that the atmosphere is, or the setting, it seems like sequels.
Yeah.
But they're not,
It's
from a story
like
point.
Godzilla and Kong are really the only two who've had, to my knowledge. Well, King Kong is an obvious, well, duh, he's from America. The films are from America. As a result, the remake is also from America. Godzilla, on the other hand, was a Japanese creation and ended up having an Americanized remake, which...
Well, back then, King Kong was really the only big thing we had. It wasn't until like the 50s we started making those giant monsters.
Yeah, I know. You got all sorts of different... from space and from nuclear radiation and from this and from that.
I think the rivalry came in terms of money.
Yeah.
In terms of, cinematics.
Yeah.
Not from a character standpoint. Because if Godzilla was the face of the original King Kong, there wouldn't be a fight.
No, because, the original King Kong was 30 feet tall, and the original Godzilla was
167 feet tall, or 400 in the American version.
Punt! Score! Done!
Doesn't make any sense, though.
Yeah.
But, Godzilla's movies were grim for the first couple.
Yeah.
Then they end up being just basic sci-fi movies. Then they were aimed towards kids, and then they were actual sci-fi movies, giant monster movies again.
Yeah.
And then with the 90s, they were more grim in tone and more of a lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's a villain, but he also, he kills the monster anyway.
Yeah.
Anti-heroes.
Which is kind of the same thing that Gamera did.
Gamera started out as a villain, but I think he was just a monster in a stranger in a strange land, really.
Huh.
It's like he can't help it, he's big.
Yeah.
And he ends up fighting the other monsters too.
Yeah.
And he ends up becoming something that Godzilla and King Kong can't do, is be the friend of all children. King Kong is more of a friend to women.
Yeah. And Godzilla is more of a, okay, fine, whatever, I'm here, there's the villain, get out of my road.
He is a good example of a slasher monster.
Yeah.
He will keep going.
Yeah, he's probably what a lot of the slasher villains were described in.
He's OP.
Well inspired by,
Yeah. Gamera was more veered towards children right off the bat.
Yeah.
Not only the third one, though. The third one's when they started doing that. The second one's more... It's not boring, but it seems to be a lot like Godzilla Raids Again, where it focuses more on the humans than it does the monsters. The monsters, the humans are just caught up in the monster business.
Yeah.
And it's not as serious either, but it is serious with the humans, not the monsters. And as it went along, it really became towards children.
Yeah, and then when it got its
90s revival,
I
think it became towards the children who watched it but are more mature.
Yeah,
but I think you could take your kids to see the 90s movies. There's not a lot of cussing or a lot. There's gore, but it's monsters. It's like taking a kid to go see Terminator 2. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, well, that and it all depends on the age of the kid and using your head, but
yeah. And then in 2000, it was steered towards the children of the children who saw the originals.
Yeah.
And I like that one. It's very well made.
Yeah.
And it's very lighthearted.
Yeah.
It feels a lot like one of those old Japanese movies you used to watch.
I think you're talking Gamera the Brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels a lot like those movies that I've seen a lot of Japanese movies actually. A lot of dramas.
Yeah.
Romantic comedies.
Yeah.
Where it makes you feel good at the end.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're meant for. It's a grown-up child movie.
Yep. And, at the same time, yes, I'll agree that the face of the Gamera in that one does
Well, it's the
look
it's the
a
sun.
tad